The world is burning. There are people that are suffering horribly, suffering needlessly. And it is you, with your power, with your awesomeness, with your ability to stand up tall and strong, who can serve them out of that suffering.
Welcome to the Thought Leader Revolution with Nikki Ballou. Join the revolution. There's never been a better time in history to speak your truth, find your freedom, and make your fortune. Each week, we interview the world's top thought leaders and learn the secrets of how they built a 6 to 7 figure practice. This episode has been brought to you by eCircleacademy.com, the proven system to add 6 to 7 figures a year to your thought leader practice.
Welcome to the exciting episode of the podcast, The Thought Leader Revolution. I'm your host, Nikki Ballou, and we have another exciting thought leader nugget for you today. And let me tell you, this is a good one. I actually just got off interviewing a guest for the podcast. And during my podcast interviews, I ask all my guests to give me their top 3, what I call expert action steps. These are their best pieces of life or success advice that they want you, my listener, to take on to take their business, their life, their success to another level. And today, my guest said something brilliant. She said, be willing to suck at something and be brave enough to suck at something new. Boom, that was awesome. Be brave enough to suck at something new. In life, you've got to take on new things that force you to grow, force you to get to the next level, force you to be better. You have to do that. And if you're not willing to do that, and you're not brave enough to do that, you're going to stay stuck on the same plateau forever. Now, if you're a coach, if you're a consultant, if you're a thought leader, and you want to grow your business, you want to get way better at selling, but you're scared of it, and you're not really taking on, having more conversations with people, being more proactive to get more people on your calendar, then your business is not going to grow. It's going to stay on the same plateau. Do you understand what I'm trying to say here? Because being brave enough to suck at sales for the next month, 2 months, 3 months, 6 months, year, is what's going to have your business go from tragic to magic in the most uncommon of hours. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? It is super important for you to be brave enough to suck at something new. God, that's good. Now, in the last 3 months, how many times have you been brave enough to go forward and speak to someone and work to enroll them into working with you? i.e., how often have you been brave enough to have a sales conversation and ask for the business? How often? Has it been once, twice, 3 times? Or maybe it's never. Maybe you've never been that brave. I'm here to advise you to become that brave right now. Go set up a conversation with somebody amazing. Go set up a conversation with a rock star that wants to see you win. Because if you do that, that person that wants to see you win is going to persuade you to have a conversation with someone that you can help win with your special brand of genius. Because the world is burning. There are people that are suffering horribly, suffering needlessly. And it is you, with your power, with your awesomeness, with your ability to stand up tall and strong, who can serve them out of that suffering. And for you to serve them out of that suffering, you have to be brave enough to suck at the enrollment conversation that you're going to have with this individual, and suck at it long enough that you stop sucking, and then you go from stopping sucking to being just plain old mediocre, and then you go from being plain old mediocre to being average at it, and then you go from being average at it to being halfway decent at it, and then you go from being halfway decent at it to being good at it, to being some skilled jamf, and then you go from being good at it to being some skilled jamf to being great at it, and you go from being great at it to being an absolute, utter, savage master at it. Wow. And it all starts by you sucking at it, knowing that you suck at it, and being brave enough to take that first step while sucking at it to move forward with power, with determination, with alacrity, and continuing to suck again and again and again with no loss of enthusiasm, to paraphrase the great Winston Churchill. And this no loss of enthusiasm, this consistency, will take you out of sucking and on the road to greatness. Because the only way you're ever going to win at life is when you, my friend, look yourself in the mirror in the eye and say loud and proud, I suck at selling, or whatever it is that you're taking on, but we're going to use selling in this example. I really suck at it, but I'm making a decision today that I will no longer suck at it. And I'm going to go from tragic to magic, because that's how I'll get to live a life worth living, to live a life of fulfillment, to live a life where I make the biggest difference I'm meant to make. That, my friends, is the end of this Thought Leader Nugget. And that's a wrap.
This episode has been brought to you by eCircleAcademy.com, the proven system to add 6 to 7 figures a year to your thought leader practice.